Students across the country are sharing images of their school lunches on social media, a trend known as lunch shaming. While cafeteria food has always been a target for jokes, this issue is now more serious. Many students are disgusted by what they're served, with some posting online about questionable meals, such as moldy or unidentifiable food. For some, even the chips aren't safe, with reports of strange black items hidden inside the bags. For many students, school lunch can be a mystery. Meals are served at odd hours, like 1 p.m., after long school days, leaving some kids unsure of what they're eating. Despite concerns about food quality, some children rely on these meals as their primary source of nutrition, given that they may not have access to food outside of school. Unfortunately, a troubling statistic is that many children in the U.S. are at risk of obesity-related diseases like heart disease, partly due to unhealthy school lunches. Over 50% of children between the ages of 2 and 15 are showing signs of early heart disease, potentially linked to the junk food served in schools. School food providers, including the Department of Education, often face pressure to keep their numbers up, while schools themselves rarely know where the food is coming from. Comparing U.S. lunches to those in other countries like France, where students are served balanced, organic meals, the difference is stark. In the U.S., meals often consist of highly processed, low-quality foods such as rectangular pizzas, chocolate milk, and ketchup-drenched fries. Even in affluent areas, rich kids might enjoy Domino's pizza, but for the most part, lunch choices in America are far from healthy. While school lunch workers may not be responsible for the quality of the meals, they often have little choice but to serve what they are given. The quality of food has deteriorated to the point where cooking has been replaced by simply reheating pre-packaged meals. It's common for school cafeterias to serve things like sloppy joes or boxed food that has been minimally prepared. The situation is further complicated by the amount of waste produced in school cafeterias. Students are throwing away more food than ever before, with schools reporting a significant increase in waste. For example, a suburban Chicago school recently found dozens of unopened boxes of pears in the trash. The root of the issue can be traced back to the 1940s during World War II, when the U.S. government implemented the National School Lunch Act to ensure that children were properly nourished. At the time, the program was meant to produce strong soldiers, with little regard for balanced nutrition. As a result, much of the food sent to schools came from surplus farm products, which may not have been ideal for a healthy diet, but served a purpose during wartime. By the 1970s, the program had expanded, and by the 1980s, more children were receiving free or subsidized meals. However, cuts to funding during Ronald Reagan's administration forced schools to find cheaper ways to feed students. This resulted in schools relying on processed, low-cost food from large food manufacturers, which further degraded the quality of meals. Big food companies took advantage of the crisis by selling processed foods to schools, often in exchange for a cut of the profits. Products like chips and soda were sold in bulk, and schools received a share of the revenue. This partnership incentivized schools to serve junk food to students, as it helped alleviate budget issues but also profited food corporations. By the 2010s, as childhood obesity rates rose, the USDA started tightening its nutritional guidelines, requiring more fruits and vegetables and limiting certain unhealthy ingredients. However, food corporations quickly found loopholes to maintain their profits. For example, pizza companies claimed that their pizza sauce qualified as a vegetable, while chip manufacturers downsized portions to meet new sodium guidelines. Meanwhile, food lobbyists fought to protect products like potatoes, which eventually remained classified as a vegetable, even if they were served as fries. This complex history shows how school lunch programs, which were originally designed to help children, have instead become entangled in political and economic interests, often to the detriment of students' health. The ongoing battle between improving nutrition and maintaining profits continues to shape the meals students receive in school today.